Trump, but does that mean that I endorse what he's doing or not endorse what he's doing? Because I didn't vote, I didn't have a say. But I should as an American.
I think you have a voice to say the fact that you're disenfranchised. I mean, we all feel like we're disenfranchised at this point.
Sure.
Like, really, like, if we're really going to talk about what we feel, like, any of us here are not just a single party. You have to believe in some of the feelings from some of the other side, because that's what compromise comes with, is the understanding that, like, Ryan may feel a certain way about a topic and I feel differently.
Sure.
So, or any of us, you know what I mean? But
so what you're looking for is to find common ground and then decide where you can meet in the middle and make both parties happy. You don't get 100% of what either one wants because it's not possible, but, you know.
But I also think having a two-party system is something that just was never meant for our society to begin. Like, when it comes down to, like we're saying, like, this is what it comes down to, is we've allowed big people, big business to take over and have people say that people that are making $50 an hour are telling people that are making $20 an hour to watch out for someone making $7.50.
Right. I mean, getting money out of politics would definitely be the solution. I'm not against the two-party system personally. I'm against of how it's working now. The staunch, country club Republicans are just important. Their job is to, keep order, keep things going the way that they're supposed to, and the left's, job is to push them and keep them in check from not, and keeping it too much of the same.
Yeah.
And then,
like
the left is, supposed to be, progressive, hence the term, and, push society forward, and the right's job is to go, all right, well, that's a little too far, because if you take the right all the way to its extremes, you get, the Ku Klux Klan and, fascism and craziness, and you take the left all the way over, and you get, like, Marxism and communism, and, both have killed just as many people throughout history. Yeah. Don't forget about, communist China and Mao. That was communism.
But I think, and I agree.
Which is essentially socialism, leads to the same thing.
And
pure
like
socialism, anyway.
Going back to it, right? Like, we're a capitalist society. So
sure.
if we're really based, but here's my thing though: is it really free when Ford and Chevy and GM needed a bailout and we had to give them money that we had to pay? Like, it's okay for the government to have any one of us take out a student loan and say you got to pay it back at this kind of an interest rate.
That's a whole other.
Yeah, but see, there's a whole different turntable on this as well, because farmers are now getting buyouts.
Yeah, but they're becoming part of a socialist program.
So farmers are just as bad as conglomerates.
Well, no, but what I'm saying, right, is that
but that's what you're trying to say, though. Like, in the same context, you're saying anybody that gets a buyout is from this, socialist market.
Basically, I would say that they would be part of a socialist program.
What do you have against farms?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I feel bad on the tariffs. The tariffs is what killed them. Because they need money, they're bailing people. Like,
I don't think it's more or less tariffs. I think
in a capitalist country, you have a farm and you can't sell your products, you can't do anything with it, so you go out of business. Ryan has the money to come in and buy it. That's exact, because you lose your land.
I'll tell you exactly what happens, right? And this was told to me by a farmer.
Mm-hmm.
What happens is let's say during the season, right? You have a farm. Let's say, I don't know, a crazy amount, like 200 acres. And you get your stuff, and all of a sudden you buy this insurance, farmer's insurance, and let's say your crop goes bad. Or you can't make the cut to sell off your crops. Insurance pays you money. Then you get to sell your crop anyways, because it's after the time that you could actually sell your crop. And then you make all that money back.
Yeah.
Every single thing that you were going to pay out to, let's say, I don't know, Frito-Lay was going to buy your corn, right? So Frito-Lay was going to buy your corn, but now they're not buying your corn. You get the insurance money plus whatever you just paid out to Frito-Lay for this aftermarket corn.
Yeah. So what you're telling me right now is that they're going to triple dip, because
You're
they're going to get
triple
bailed
dip
out by the government,
straight out,
right? But now, same thing with the car industry.
Yeah.
Same thing with Wall Street.
Of course.
Same thing with the housing markets. They all should have tanked. In a capitalist society, they all should have tanked, and the next idea comes up. How do you think these businesses started?
So Tom Durden said it. Farmers are just as bad.
But the problem is, though, we still need food. Everybody needs food. So if you're going to bail anybody out, that's like a need necessity. So I'm with you, which is like, screw them. Let the auto industry fail. Let me save some jobs. Too bad. Get a new one.
That's how I feel.
And so, and obviously there's a lot more to unpack for that. But, when it comes to food, like, we need some socialist programs and some, bit of socialism in the country. You got to remember that, we're 320 million people?
Easily.
As a country, just on a bell curve of intellect and ability alone, with total freedom of, to make your way in life, there's like 20% of the people are just not capable of having a regular job, whether it be a gas station or a janitor or whatever. What do we do with those people? So we need some kind of, programs.
There needs to be a check and balance. There needs to be a check and balance to everything.
We got to help those people. Well, what else are you going to do?
I agree, but I also think... I think
but homeless people like Fight Club.
Like, a perfect example.
Okay? The whole purge, man. The purge.
Hillary Clinton ran against Donald Trump this last election. All right, now Hillary Clinton.
Really?
But
what?
Well, all I'm saying, right, is Hillary Clinton had stacks of money saved up because she didn't think she was going to lose to Donald Trump. She was already loaning money into the coffers to make it for the re-election campaign, just like Trump did, because Trump had a bunch of money given to him.
She lost the minute she opened her mouth.
But whatever happened with that money? Whatever happened to that money? Like, Hillary Clinton literally sitting on $20 million just disappeared.
She's sitting pretty.
Just disappeared because Hillary Clinton ain't running for president anymore.
I feel like it was just all a scam anyway.
I think everybody should have a set amount of money that you can disperse throughout however much you want. That's all you get. You're capped. And once you hit that mark, that's it. So if Will wants to take $40 million, he wants to take $3 million of that and put it into the Pennsylvania market. That's his strategy. Everyone's on the same level playing fields. You can't have these big. See,
it's weird, man. You have people like Ross Perot, who's a billionaire. You have people like Bernie Sanders, who's a millionaire in his own right. You got people like Donald Trump, multimillionaire. These are people who have made business decisions on a country that shouldn't be treated like a business. And I'm only saying this for one thing, because most people, as far as our trillions of dollars in debt, need to think of America as a business. But there's so much more that goes into it past just the number amount.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are people, companies are companies. Are we bailing out people, or are we bailing out futures?
I mean, at the end of
everybody's playing the stock market. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're $50 in or $500 million in. Everybody's playing the stock market, man.
No, you have to have money stocks to get in it.
No, that's not true.
You have to get
that's not true. Stocks. If you what's his name? Robert Herjavec from Shark Tank. He said that you can start a portfolio with $50.
Yeah.
So you can start one with $50. Can you get $50 tomorrow?
But my thing is, right?
No, that's not the question. Can you get $50? Right?
Yeah, I could.
Yep. Right. $50, right?
Put 100 on that.
I can get $50 tomorrow, but the reason why I'm not investing into a portfolio is because I'm walking poor. We're all working, walking poor right now.
Whoa. I'm crawling poor. Speak for yourself.
I mean, but that's America. It's the majority of America. We're all working, walking poor. And the 10% of the people over the mark, can invest money in there. They're investing in businesses. They're investing in ideas for America.
So do you believe in trickle down or trickle up?
I mean, nowadays it's trickle up society.
Mm-hmm.
10% keep on getting richer. The 2% of the 10% could buy out, like I said, they could buy out the past 80%.
When did trickle down ever work? That's what I'm saying. Like, really, when it comes down to it, right? Like, so when it really comes down to it, you have 10% that have more wealth, or 5%, 3% has more wealth than the bottom 90?
Yeah.
Something has to happen. The people at some point in time, have to get to the idea where it's like, this is it. Like, this, it's either, like, we right now, as a generation, right, have seen so much growth and so much change in the culture that you may never see this again. Because we finally saw the internet. We saw cell phones. We saw all this other technology We saw Napster. We saw downloading of movies and the death of television, right? And when it comes down to it, like, we're also seeing history repeats itself. And we're slowly seeing the Roman Empire come back into place. Because the Roman Empire was the heads of the government, the heads of the big time, right? They had the armies, they had the this and the that, and the people were just basically slaves. You either had your rich or you had your poor that couldn't afford slaves. And we slowly are becoming the slaves of society that the Romans had when they had their fall. Because we're going to, at one point in time, get sick and tired of sticking up for the big man, and we're just going to let them tank.
So, my question for you is, why don't you do something about it?
Because it takes, like you said, planning. It takes an idea of it.
What are you
And
doing?
it starts.
Why don't you run for some sort of office?
Someday I might. Someday I
Start
just
planning.
might. Someday I just might.
Isn't the
I
mayor
think you
gate
should
open?
plan for something like that.
But you know, like, when it comes down to it, is you have to understand that you have to bring people together. Like, we're so divided as a culture to think like, oh, why do we think like this? Or it's not that. It's the fact of, why don't you deserve a shot, or you deserve a shot. If we don't
Do it.
maybe it has to be done. Maybe a revolution.
See, and here's
has to
the
be done
thing.
politically.
There are the people who
Do it.
make ideas, and there are the people who steal ideas from the people that make ideas.
Yeah.
Now, did you know that, who was that? Alexander Graham Bell, actually stole ideas from somebody else because he
Absolutely.
worked in the patent office.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's mind blown right there.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like you have all these ideologies planned. You're like, you know what? I might run for Scranton office someday because you're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
You're
Like,
very
you
passionate
get
about it.
super passionate.
But you
about
need
it.
to be. You need to
Like,
be. You need to be,
you are that guy. The
Yeah.
guy that you're talking about that's supposed to do it. You're that guy.
Yeah. And
Do it.
But will you ever do it? Probably
Either
not.
back a guy who is doing it, or just do it yourself.
you never know. I just might. But the point is like, it doesn't just take one person. Like, it takes a belief of a group, and you have to have
I'm
someone
sure
that can do
you
that.
could rile people up. I feel like if you go on a podium and you're up there talking, they're gonna be like, I know what you're talking about. They're gonna be like, Mr. Stice, people all around are like, he knows what he's talking about. It's like, I feel it. Like, the way you talk, you just like, and then we're gonna set cars on fire. We're gonna take the city back.
Whatever you got to do. And I'm
It's like,
no.
FBI is under the chat.
yeah,
I
exactly.
think though.
I like how this has
right?
gone from our main topic into like politics again.
That's dead, man.
Yeah,
But
was
I mean,
making
it really is what it is. I mean, you have two sides to every story.
From Underlock. It's
Now-
hard. I get all like worked up thinking about it.
I know.
Well,
Thank God you're sealed in.
I'm just locked in, baby.
But I think, like, when it comes down, and what riles me up is how you said, it's a race thing. Like, the reason.
Oh, I never said it was a race thing. I'm saying that people have popped it up into a race thing.
Are we finally back on the 17-year-old getting shot at the store?
Yes. We've never.
So
It
what-
was never a race thing. It was never a race thing where it was like, oh, this young black kid came in and stole from me. It was a kid who was stealing from the store, who, incidentally, could have been white, Indian, Chinese, whatever.
So, the African Americans in the United States are a protected class because hate crimes exist. The fact that you can.
Oh,
even
racism is
get-
vibrant everywhere.
I guess I don't
You wouldn't
think
say that?
it's any more than it always has been or always will be.
I think it's just glorified.
What?
as
You
a
wouldn't?
media.
You wouldn't say that?
This is a touchy subject for me.
No. I mean, it needs
I
to
wanna
be
hear your
heard.
way in,
It
man.
needs to be heard.
You're on the side.
Of course, there's racism in the United States.
I mean,
It's everywhere, dude.
You want to talk about like who's on the receiving end of the most?
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah,
totally. The African American culture is
Because I'll tell you what, this is the weirdest gangbang I've ever been a part of. Like, this is like, it's just like, duck, goose. Like, it's weird for me. This is like, it's a lot of white people, and I feel like when we go to this type
yeah,
of
but we're
subject,
friends though.
I get real sweaty. It gets real uncomfortable.
It's not all about. It's not about
because
hate
no,
for
it's
us,
not
though.
like it's not a, like when you say you turn into a race thing, but it's like, oh, come on.
Well, let's just be honest in the fact that it's never fully been covered. Like, the idea of racism in the United States has never fully been.
All right,
We've never
That's
fully
true.
healed from it, I guess.
True,
is
true.
the best way to
Alright.
put
Hey,
it.
you talking about
Okay.
like our
Alright.
culturally?
Yeah, like as
from I mean, we changed it.
the closest we've gotten is Barack Obama to see full change in the